Good afternoon as we look across the town of Waitakere here in Fiji. It's the OFC Champions League and it's Waitakere United up against the Solomon Warriors. I'm Gordon Watson, your commentator. I'm joined by Indra Singh and a classic in front of us, Indra.
Yeah, Gordon, thank you very much. Welcome to all our viewers. Waitakere United versus Solomon Warriors, brought to us by Courts, Sports World and Vodafone from here at Churchill Park in Lautoka, Gordy. We're in for a big one this afternoon.
Absolutely, and we're in a beautiful country that has welcomed the OFC Champions League with open arms. And a reminder that we're trying to kick dengue out of Fiji with UNICEF, the Ministry of Health of Fiji, the OFC and the Fiji Football Association. Some Solomon Warriors fans have made the trip up from Suva. And let's not forget, we're in Fiji, and it's a friendly place to visit.
Defenders doing, tackling each other, that's what. Well, Krishna, the first Fijian to play in a senior FIFA tournament.
So a look at Fiji, the holiday destination, and some elements of its football. And Indra, what are your thoughts ahead of today's game?
Yes, Gordy, looking at the one before this, we called a big win for Aspire over Kiwi FC, but this one, it could be a do-or-die battle for the Warriors in particular. A loss here could send them crashing out of the tournament. Waitakere on the other side, not impressive, but a few changes in their lineup should be a good one. But I think Warriors all in with the support and the crowd support that we can see in the grandstand. The Warriors fans definitely want to win here, nothing less. As we see the clouds hovering onto the hills on the other side, it's become much cooler than what it was when we had a kick around earlier on, Gordy.
Yeah, that was a real struggle, I don't mind telling you. Well, Aspire won their match against Kiwi FC by 8-0. They're sitting top of this pool with 2 wins from 2, 6 points, 10 goals for, 1 against. Waitakere would like to get a few goals and a victory today, but they're up against the Solomon Warriors side who lost their first match and need points themselves. Clubs from New Zealand and the Solomon Islands have met only a handful of times. Waitakere have only played against the Solomons club twice. That was FC Kosa in the 2008 Champions League final. They won one of those games 5-0 and they lost the other one 3-1 in Honiara. But there is a gulf between these two teams. Today is Waitakere United's 47th in OFC Champions League history. They've won 25, drawn 10 and lost 11. And for the Solomon Warriors, this is only their 8th match, and they have a smattering of experience, but not as much as what Waitakere are packing today.
We're just looking at the numbers, Gordy, and the big difference between the Waitakere and the Solomon Warriors. Players having appearances up to 34, Jake Butler, Danny Robinson 28, Tim Myers 24, and on the other hand, James Naka, the most experienced out of the starting 11 for the Warriors. And the other side, could play in their favor, are the 3 players in the starting lineup, which we'll be having a look at: James Naka, Jude Molia, and Poila.
There is the referee for this afternoon's match, Salesh Chand of Fiji, Mahi Chilia of Vanuatu, and Tavita Makasini, the assistant referees. The 4th is Nawan Hopkin of Vanuatu.
Just mentioning Poila, James Naka and Jude Molia all have played on this ground for the local teams in Fijian football. Will be well versed how to counter and how to play on this ground.
That's right. Waitakere have gone for a 4-1-2-3 formation. At times it can reconfigure into a 4-5-1. Solomon Warriors Well, that's a lineup that's very different from the one that was beaten in the opening match with Pire. They've recalibrated things. It's a 4-2-3-1, and they've got a very high emphasis on attack, with Naka playing as a lone striker, Denisi Fuanoa, Mikalia Lafa, and Gibson Dowdow just playing in behind him. And the two holding midfielders, Judd Molea, Mollis Gagami, and a relatively inexperienced back four of Matson Fenny, Hidisi Angari, Emmanuel Poyler, and Fred Fikari. The goalkeeper, Silas Sader, didn't play in the first match. He's preferred to Samson Cotti. Well, Jake Butler's been over this course so many times in his career. His 34th match in the red and white of Waitakere United in the OFC Champions League. Broke into the All Whites towards the end of the last FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. Won a couple of caps. So some interesting matches coming your way very soon. Kiwi up against Solomon Warriors on Tuesday the 15th. That's at 1 o'clock. Nandi taking on AS Dragon. Both those teams are out of the competition, and the situation as it stands in the pools, you can see Pire top of this group with 6, Waitakere with 3, Solomon's yet to get off the mark, but both teams having played only one game. In confirmation of the Waitakere lineup, there's no Tom Biss there, and it's very much a 4-1-2-3 formation. Solomon Warriors, as I said, Silas Sader preferred to Samson Cotti. Gibson Dowdow comes in at the start. It's an inexperienced back four of Fenny, Angari, Poyler and Fikari. Look out for Mikalia Lafa, number 17.
James Naka there, number 9 jumper, the veteran for the Solomon Warriors. Didn't actually make the top level in Fiji until he was way past his age of 30. So he's about 37, 38 now. So falling in the veterans category, but still playing at the top level in Oceania.
Well, he's a player with X factor. He can drift in and out of matches, and he has often, sometimes been accused of not working hard enough. But when you see what he pops up with, I mean, looking at his games to goals ratio in this competition, 15 matches, 8 goals. And he has scored against Waitakere in the past. He scored for Kossa in the first leg of the OFC Champions League final in 2008. Kossa won 3-1. Joe Louis scored the other 2 goals. Jonathan Perry was on target for Waitakere. Fikari. Angari. Molea. Here's Butler. Ryan Shelley. Aaron Jones making his second appearance today. Tim Myers is back. He missed the first match through suspension. Tom Biss has gone to the Waitakere bench. Well, these conditions will suit Waitakere. It was very hot for the 1 o'clock game, and there was a water break in both halves of that match. But right now, it's very familiar conditions for Waitakere.
Yeah, Benjamin Totori is another we'll be wanting to look out for. He missed a few chances in that first game against Kiwi FC, and he got one. He was on target with 1 goal, but not what we knew Benjamin Totori of like in a few years back.
No, it may take Totori this match to really get going. It's been a frustrating and sad week for the people of the Solomon Islands recovering from the flood disaster, and of course Benjamin Totori has extended family members who were on the missing list. At least that's how things stood when he arrived. I spoke to him just prior to Waitakere's first match with Kiwi. Fred Fikari. Shut down by Joel Stevens. Angari chests the ball down to Molea. Here's a skipper for Solomons. Mikalia Lafa. Oh, and he's gone right through the ball. Adam McGeorge. Judd Molea is going to feel that.
Didn't get the ball at all, took the man out. We saw in the earlier game the first yellow card going in about 54 seconds. The referees are stamping their mark early, knowing the physical nature of the OFC Champions League we've seen thus far.
Well, Adam McGeorge is a clever player in that he's probably looked at a few of these games and thought, well, there's a little bit of leeway here. First attack for the Solomons. Aaron Jones copes adequately with the danger. Well, speaking to Waitakere co-coach Paul Temple after the game with Kiwi, he felt that 2-0 and a win was satisfactory. He believes that his team is capable, more than capable, of winning their next 2 games and finishing top of the group. Sam French. Fakari plays it through to Naka. Naka again. Shelley doesn't take any chances. Aingari. Heavy touch by Aingari. Picked up by McGeorge. And French is offside. So Sam French scored a really good goal against Kiwi, didn't he, Indra?
Yeah, he did, Gordon. It's not one of those standout names in the strike force for the team, but he did get that most important first goal.
Here's French for Waitakere. Tries to release Tatori down the left.
Emmanuel Poila, that other side, taking it away. And Emmanuel Poila had a lot of experience playing for Nandi when he was virtually an unknown. He was brought in by Nandi, the local team from Fiji. And the other side as well, Danny Robinson has also played here for Lautoka, made a blunder in one of the major tournaments, which saw Lautoka buyout of the tournament.
Oh, and this is a free kick. Very good position for the New Zealanders. Of course, we should welcome our Pacific viewing audience from around the region: Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, of course, and Tahiti. So Jake Butler is capable of giving these a fair old whack. Pratley on his left foot could be an option too. Silas Sader's set his wall. Sam French is unmarked at the far post. He's now being picked up by Frank Fakari and Tatori, and Joel Stevens are lingering on the edge of the penalty area. Butler off the wall. Winds in the cross. It's in deep. Oh, and Sader had to be at his best. Aaron Jones was lurking just behind him. Tatori. Oh, up against a team who'll know him pretty well. Leo Laffa against McGeorge. Fakari. Poila. Finney. Well, Waitakere being very aggressive, pressing Solomon Warriors high up the pitch. Given straight back to Waitakere. Picked up by Aingari off Butler. Naka. Molia. Myers cuts out the pass from Molia, intended for Dennis Ufuanoa.
Jude Molia will be the orchestrator in the midfield area, because that's what he did against when they lost it to A Spirit 2-1 the other day. He was when he was uncontained, he proved to be a handful for defenders.
Long ball pumped forward. Aingari deals with it first time. Well, Waitakere playing very much for maximum points. Dennis Ufuanoa with a good touch. Walks straight into Tim Myers. Robinson sends it long. Gary's header. Mikalia Lafa, Molea. Well, it has to be better than that from Judd Molea. Another long ball. Poiler. Well, Solomon Islands clubs have lined up in the OFC Champions League final just twice in history. That was 2008 when Kosa won through to the final, and the following season when Kolowale made it. Neither side was able to produce a winning formula. Naka for Ufuanoa. French. Butler. Jones. Good intensity about Waitakere today. Much easier to play in conditions like this and at 4 o'clock than it is 1 p.m. in the steaming hot sun. The humidity can be stifling here around that time of day.
Yeah, and that's what we saw in the first game, Espiri and QEFC. The heat was a major factor for both the teams despite that big win by Pire. The other thing I was going to talk about, Gordon, is we've watched Auckland City play, and we're well versed with Auckland City and Waitakere in the islands. There's a vast difference in the pattern of play that these two teams come up with.
Yes, very much so. Well, Waitakere are looking to try and play this tempo high. Not a great touch. And McGeorge won the ball and won a free kick.
Sam Matthews had a point there, trying to take it quickly, blocked by the Warriors.
Tristan Prattley standing over the ball. What can Prattley make of this? We haven't seen a goal from a free kick, certainly not from this distance. Shelley's in the penalty area, it's clipped in. Away by Angari. Matthews. Tatori's popped up on the right. It goes with the left. He's hit it beyond Brian Shelley. Stevens. Good turn by Stevens. Hasn't been able to wriggle past his opponent. Well, a draw today is no good for the Solomon Warriors. They would be left with just 1 point. Oh, sorry, no points.
They'll have a point if it's a draw, and that would virtually, I think, kick them out of the tournament more or less.
More or less, yeah.
A win necessary for both teams, in actual fact, to match Espiri.
Yes, we have talked about the possibility of 3 teams ending up on 6 points in one group. Now, Group A, this group, finishes on the 15th when Pire play Waitakere and Solomons play Kiwi. And the day before that, Amakel are up against Auckland and Nandi play Dragon. That match has no bearing on how things finish up in Group B. Launched long by Angari. Prattley's cushioned header for Stevens. Lea Lafa. Ufuanoa. Lea Lafa cuts the ball back. Naka. Oh, Lea Lafa in the penalty area. Naka. Nice build up by the Solomon Warriors. It lacked an end product. But there's a bit of a warning on now for Waitakere.
Yeah, Naka again, we didn't see him for the past few minutes, and he's just appeared out of nowhere, taking that shot just past the left post of Danny Robinson. Could have spelled danger for Waitakere if it had gone in.
Matson Finney loses out to Sam French. Manuel Poiler puts it out. Away by Angari. French lets it pop off his head. Stevens caught offside.
Yeah, the early substitution likely. Hershey Raniga on the sideline for Waitakere.
Yes, you're right, Indra. Looks like Tim Myers is the player who's got a problem. It is Tim Myers. He's off. So this isn't good news for Waitakere. Forced into an early change, just 14 minutes into this match.
Doesn't look happy.
No, and quite rightly so. Frustrating for Tim Myers and frustrating for co-coach Paul Temple. Harshe Reniga has proved himself more than capable at this level, though. Naka, away by the substitute Reniga. Tatori, OFC Champions League top goal scorer. Benjamin Tatori netted his 20th goal in the competition against Kiwi.
Hershey Raniga started the first game, was on the bench, gets an early chance to make an impact. 14 minutes gone into the first half. And let's see how he copes with the likes of James Naka up front for the Warriors.
Won by Shelley. McGeorge and Tatori having words with each other. Not on the same page. French, that's a good header. Tatori gets a cross in. Corner ball. Manuel Poiler puts it out. Real big test on here for Solomon Warriors. They don't have the same height. They don't have the same height as Waitakere United. French is in there. You can see him next to Emmanuel Poiler, the other centre half. He's got a height advantage. Pratley will bend this in. Jones is in there. McGeorge and Butler. Oh, and he's overhit that. You don't often see that from Tristan Pratley. Waitakere have to keep the pressure on, and they require quality in moments like that. Tatori lofts it alongside Laseda. Comes out and then stops. It's offside anyway.
Sam French has been caught offside 2 times already with the high line that Solomon Warriors employ at times.
Sam Matthews' role in this game is all important for Waitakere. There are 3 players playing up front for the Solomon Warriors who can all cause damage. And those balls out from the back, intended for Naka, Lea Lafa and Ufuanoa, have to be cut out. And we saw an example of Matthews doing that role very effectively. Lea Lafa putting pressure on Reniga. Butler. McGeorge. Well played by McGeorge. And that's offside too. So we're in the 17th minute. Waitakere United 0. Solomon Warriors 0. Poiler. Launches it long for Naka. Well played by Danny Robinson with the chest. Most capped goalkeeper in OFC Champions League history, Danny Robinson. And the the most capped goalkeeper, I think, in the ASP Premiership as well. Well, that's a good ball. Stevens. Oh, excellent pass, and it's hacked clear by Fred Fakari. It's another corner for Waitakere.
Looking for Benjamin Totori on the edge of the 6-yard box. Fred Fakari read that well, concedes a corner. The tall men of Waitakere make their way into the box to try and get a header as Pretley, about to bend it in once again, will be hoping to do better than the last one.
Yes, they've got to take advantage of their height superiority at these set plays, Waitakere. Clipped it in. That's much better. Sada's fumbled it. It's blocked. Shot from Butler was blocked. That's just a hint of some of the pay dirt that's waiting for Waitakere if they can continue to put quality balls into the box like this. Silas Sada came off his line, he flapped at it. Butler got a good touch, had the shot, that was blocked. McGeorge. Straight run, straight ball, and an offside, but well, that's very tight. The Warriors just going to sleep. Can Waitakere punish them? Stevens, that's not a bad ball. Totori, the header needed to be back across goal. Awkward one for Totori. Fakari. There's Matthews cutting out that pass into the front men for the Solomons. Totori, French is unmarked. Fakari, oh sorry, Oingari coping. He's done well, the Solomon Warriors skipper. Leolafa. Well, George got away with a shirt pull there. Leolafa, the referee, actually raised his whistle to his mouth and then changed his mind. French. Stevens ahead of him. Pratley arriving in time. Matthews. Stevens gives it up to Judd Molia. Well played by Molia. Again, Matthews can't stop the ball through this time. Jones. Matthews. Stevens. Now Pratley going long, but he's given that away. That's cheap from Tristan Pratley. Manuel Poyler. Silas Sada. So a good tempo to this one, Indra.
Yeah, it's been good so far, and I think just that final ball from the Solomon Warriors midfield is not finding its mark up front, because if not, they're already creating those problems for Waitakere, and the Waitakere defense have to be tight. I think they're doing a good job so far. On the other hand, I haven't seen Benjamin Totori get away easily from his fellow countrymen.
No, not as yet. Shelley. Looking for options, they're not presenting themselves to him readily. Matson Fenny. Gibson Dowdow. Wallace Kagami for Fenny. Dowdow. Too tight there. Waitakere have picked their pockets again. Stevens. Numbers arriving in the box for Waitakere. McGeorge is there. French is there. Butler's drifted to the far post. But the cross again lacking in the necessary quality. Fakari. Leolafa. Molia. Leolafa. Naka. Ryan Shelley, a big wall that the Solomon Warriors are unable to breach.
Physical stuff going in there in a few of the players we've seen, and it's interesting that how the Warriors will be able to cope with this as the time goes on, because they did arrive into the country a bit late because of the disaster.
Tori can't get past Waitakere. Molia. Dennis Ufuanoa. Good tackle by Sam Matthews. Oh, some nice skill from Matthews as well. Well, he's been clipped on the way through, and the referee didn't see it. Dowdau for Mollis Gagami, and given away. Well, both teams just struggling with their final ball into the top third. The stakes are really high here today. Stevens straight to Waitakere. Mika Lealafa can attack from deep. Naka keeps it going. McGeorge does some defending. Now Matthews. French. Oh, and Tatori had made a run. He was unmarked. Fred Waitakere hadn't picked him up. Prattley with space to move into. Solomon Warriors playing a really high line. And consequently, Stevens is offside.
Okay, look at Sam Matthews there. Turns away beautifully and then gets clipped as he makes his run. Referee and the assistants didn't pick it up. Was not a happy chap this afternoon.
No, Dennis Ufuanoa was the chief protagonist. Play continues. Dowdau. Running at Waitakere.
It's clipped again. Sam Matthews on the shin this time.
Butler puts it out, and Matthews is going to receive treatment. So 24 minutes gone. Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 0. Oh dear. Manson Finney went and studs up. Well, the only thing you can say about the challenge was that it's been more discreet than some of the others we've witnessed during this tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've seen some unfortunate challenges in the past few days, and the less spoken about, the better. But definitely studs up challenges. We've seen quite a few in this tournament. Proper. Throw on the far side. It's not acceptable at this level of football. Seen a lot of island teams do that with improper throws.
Matthews, McGeorge. Well, something's got to give in this one. At some point, one of these two teams is going to have to find the quality to puncture the other's defence. Nice turn by Judd Molia. Fred Waitakere. Mika Lealafa gives it away. Well, calm heads win the day. 9 times out of 10. Just the tension starting to ratchet up as both teams fight for a semi-final berth. Aaron Jones. Tristan Prattley.
Too high.
Well, Danny Robinson's just having a few problems with his kicking.
Yeah, Gordon, the other thing I've noticed in this tournament so far as we entered to match day 6 is apart from Tamati from Auckland City, the goalkeeper, and Danny Robinson, there are not many vocal goalkeepers around in this tournament.
No, goalkeeping's definitely an area for improvement. Oceania wide as we see Tatori starting to go for it. Benjamin Tatori doesn't test Silas Sada.
Yeah, Tatori again with that run. This time he managed to escape his markers, and it was the captain Angari, but the finishing just not there yet for Benjamin.
Good ball by Waitakere for Ufuanoa. Naka, Lealafa, Naka, Lealafa, James Naka. Good save by Danny Robinson. Wonderful save by the Waitakere keeper. Well, there's an offside call, And I'm sitting right in line with it. I'm not sure that that's correct, but good movement this from the Solomon Warriors. Danny Robinson palming the shot away from Naka and Prattley clearing his lines.
Yeah, the first of the shots we've seen Naka get on target, and that definitely did test Danny Robinson. Great save by Danny, but at the same time, again, the Solomon Warriors showing they can prove to be a nemesis for this defense of the Waitakere side.
Fakari with the wayward ball, well won by Prattley. Matson Fenny plays it wide for Gibson Dowdow. Dowdow's 7th game in the Champions League today. Judd Morlea. Solomon Warriors starting to believe. Tatori just sitting off the shoulder of Fred Fakari, but Prattley's played it straight to Fakari. Well, the sun is shining directly into that area of the pitch. Ufuanoa against Reniga. You don't often see him outrun the shot from Naka, the 3rd chance for James Naka, and he hit it straight into Aaron Jones. Ufuanoa showing a clean pair of heels to Reniga, cut it back. Naka's first time effort got bundled up in the legs of Aaron Jones and safely into the hands of Robinson.
Yeah, he's telling his defenders to get it away, because this is where the Waitakere defense are being put under pressure. And Angari so far has been in the midst and thick of everything. There's no way past him at the moment for the Waitakere strikers.
Well, the Solomon Warriors are going to need that sort of defending today, and they're going to need it for the entire 90 minutes. There's no use turning in a good spell of 20 or 30 minutes, because Waitakere United have the players to punish them. Gibson, goodness me, I think he lost that in the sun and then got slapped in the face with the ball.
Don't usually see that from Waitakere United. Aimless kicking and clearance away.
Matson Fenny drives it away long. Both teams just guilty of doing that. Dennis Ufuanoa. Naka. He's got some lovely touches, James Naka. The 2 Waitakere centre halves are trying to get as close as possible to Naka. Here he is again. He really comes to life in the penalty area. Plays it into Mickey Lealafa. Cut out by Jones. Away by Shelley. Now Judd Morlea. Knocked into the far post. Robinson's lost it. Away by Jones. This ball an easy one for Robinson.
This Waitakere defense is under a bout of pressure here, the period, as we see the cross coming in again. Danny Robinson comes out, flaps it, and the challenge coming in. He loses it, a clearance by the Waitakere defense of Aaron Jones, rather. If the Solomon Warriors keep on playing like this, Gordon, we could be in for a long afternoon for the Waitakere defense. But as you mentioned earlier on, they need to continue for the entire 90.
That's right. It remains to be seen whether or not the Solomon Warriors have that capacity. You look at their playing record over the past 7 matches, they've only won 1 in the Champions League. They've drawn 1 and they've lost 5. They finished bottom of their group last season. Waitakere United is so used to this sort of pressure. French loses out to Angari. Away by Poyler. Kagami to Morlea. Poyler. Played wide to Fakari. Morlea. Overcooks the pass. Matthews gratefully picks it up for Waitakere United. Jones with space to move into. Matthews. So 32 minutes completed. Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 0. Launched forward by Aaron Jones straight to Fred Fakari. Waitakere have got to start improving on their distribution. At the moment, there's an element of hidden hope. Mollis Gagami played it in the air. Dowdow says, I want it on the ground. There's another one.
We haven't seen this sort of football from Waitakere in a long time. We've known them from the Champions League and ASB Premiership days, and definitely that top of balls that are coming in from Waitakere, Gotti, we have not used to it, and particularly in the islands, and they've been put under pressure.
Well, at times the Solomon Warriors are pressing 4 players forward, so it's almost 1-for-1 against the Waitakere United back 4. Stevens tidying up for Waitakere. McGeorge. The key to this for Waitakere United will be to weather the storm. They have in the past been able to win matches by... That's a good ball from Butler, releasing Stevens down the right. French is free at the far post, the ball in. Sada plucks it out of the air. Long ball forward, Jones. Header falls to the feet of Shelley. Matthews. Tatori just lingering on the verge of offside here. Now Waitakere have played 4 players forward. McGeorge. Tatori's free on the left. Stevens now on the right. Has a shot and hits the side netting. Can't test the keeper.
Hands in the air from the Waitakere players, including Totori and also the other attackers, including Jake Butler, the captain. Not happy with that final ball coming in from Joel Stevens. Tried it himself.
Molea. Jones. Well, perhaps the pressure just starting to tell on both teams at times. Pressure certainly does strange things to players. Shelley. Matthews. This is Jones. Prattley.
They're not able to release that final ball because the Waitakere players keep on drifting offside.
There you go. That's Solomon Islands high line. Coach Moses Tuata will be more than happy with the way things have gone for his team so far. Gary, Hoyler, Matson Fenny. Oh dear me, Matson Fenny gives it away. Tatori is offside at the moment, he's back onside now. Joel Stevens is in the middle. Again, the cross straight to the goalkeeper. Good header from Jones. Benjamin Tatori. Jake Butler's pushed forward. Might fancy a shot from here. Off Aingari. Mollis Gagami. Judd Molea. Cheaply restored to Waitakere United's goalkeeper. Well, my view is Indra, the team that wins this game is a team that starts getting used to this pressure and finds some quality in the top third. And
yeah, I think that is very much in it. They would be waiting for the half-time with about 8 or 9 minutes to go. And there'll be a lot of talking by both the coaching staff at half-time, trying to tell the players what's going wrong as you watch the replay. A through ball again, foul coming in.
Yes, it's all a bit helter-skelter
at
either end of the pitch. Prattley, that's a decent ball. Away by Angari, he better get back on his line because Tatori tried to lob him, but he's missed.
Sailor Seda and Angari there, miscommunication. We haven't seen much as well, where goalkeepers are changed only in their second game. Silas Seda this time, Samson Courty starting the first one. Moses Tuata must have seen something.
Totori running at Molia. He's past him. Can't get past Poila. Kagami releases Miki Leo Lafa. Naka. Naka's got no outball here at the minute. No, he does now through Fred Fikari. Nice footwork from him. Aingari. Molia. Lofted forward for Ufuanoa. Well, there was a foul there by Ufuanoa. He's getting away with quite a bit at the moment, Ufuanoa.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Harshi Raniga. As we see there, straight a shove into the back of Harshi Raniga. Missed by the referee.
Ufuanoa. Naka's cross. Away by Jones. Only as far as Kagami. Shot off target.
Naka with the ball through. The first time controls it well. Willis, Kagami, and straight up. It's not hit. It's all about hitting the target, but they're not hitting the target with the shots that are coming in. And they got some good ball in the final third.
Good header by McGeorge. Stevens can run it. Aingari. French is unmarked at the far post. Wound in. Sader punches. Only as far as Butler. It's headed back in. Totori.
Some fancy footwork there, Totori. A great ball there coming in from Joel Stevens this time. Silas Seda had a tough time dealing with it. Silas Seda, I think twice or three times already, he's not shown that much confidence in coming out for the ball. Because he either flaps at it instead of punching it away, and that's what was told to him by Moses.
There's a cross in from Joel Stevens. Seda got that right. Butler headed it back in. Now, could Totori have taken a clean touch and then shot? He was completely unmarked. Here is Totori. Tries to find Stevens with a return pass. He does. Good tackle. He had to get the timing 100% correct. Gibson Dowdow, it was, back there defending for the Solomon Warriors.
Joel Stevens getting some space on the right side.
Well, this could be a key moment in this match. A corner in the 40th minute to be taken by Tristan Prattley. His last one caused Solomon Warriors some problems. Silas Sader. Oh, that's gone into the near post. Jones. Oh, turn and shot. It could so easily have taken a deflection. Sader gets things moving again. Mikalia Lafa, wide on the right. Naka. Good win by Harshe Reniga. Stevens. Totori just creeping into an offside position. Reniga, that's a good run by him. French again at the far post. Totori at the near. Aingari with a pretty strange clearance. It's gone to the other side of the penalty area. French decides to hit it first time. Aingari could have put that in the back of his own net.
Yeah, as we see French with a short, Aingari trying to cut it out, almost putting it into back of his own goal. That would, as we see again, Solomon Warriors putting on the pressure, and a good Aaron Jones header back to goalkeeper Danny Robinson. Got it thinking about 4 minutes to go to half-time. Warriors will be the happy out of the two teams so far.
Yes, Moses Toat will be pretty satisfied unless something happens here. McGeorge can't get the cross in. Now, the Solomons can counter-attack here through Judd Molia. Mika Lealafa. Oh, well played by Lealafa. Butler fouls him. It's taken quickly. Naka. Mollis Kagami. Gibson Dowdow. Naka. Dowdow. Play breaks down. There are 6 Solomon Warriors players forward. Sader decides to come for it. Totori chases him down. It's hoisted high into the air. Jones. Poila. Anton Finney heads back to the keeper. Well, this is engaging stuff. Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 0. Molia just starting to find gaps between the lines. Dowdow. Crosses to the far post. Ufuanoa, cushion header. Mikalia Lafa. Naka goes to ground. Oh, great save. Wonderful save. Danny Robinson with the save of the tournament so far. How important will this moment be in the wash-up to this game? Naka did ever so well to stay on his feet. Mikalia Lafa blazed it at the goal, and Danny Robinson with a reaction save. That's why he's the most capped keeper in this competition.
Danny with a brilliant save there, Gotti, and Leah Lafa will be scratching his head right to half-time to say, why isn't my team up by a goal to nil here? As the cheers start in the grandstand for the Warriors fans.
Matson Finney. Decent ball in. Counter-attack on for Waitakere. Stevens drifting forward of Tatori. There are no numbers in the box yet for Waitakere. There are 3 arriving on the right. Tatori. Oh, McGeorge. Chance. It's over. He was onside as well. Unbelievable.
Brilliantly released by Tatori as we see McGeorge. Tatori with the ball, plays it through, beats the offside trap. McGeorge one-on-one. Should have done better, straight over the crossbar.
Well, drama at both ends of the pitch. Aingari. Leah Lafa. Ufuanoa. Leah Lafa. Drifting away from Matthews. Shapes to shoot. Matthews falls. Leah Lafa's still going. Now Naka. He scores! James Naka, the veteran, has given Solomon Warriors a lead in the 45th minute.
Oh, they're going wild in the stands, Gordon. That was what they were wanting. Straight on the stroke of halftime, James Naka showing what he does best. He's done it so many times on this ground. Leah Lafa with a brilliant play, cutting in between. Look at him go. Leah Lafa, back to James Naka. He looks up, looks for the spot, and straight over Danny Robinson, who had come ahead of his line, and 1-0. It gives the thumbs up. Solomon Warriors with the result they want in this game, 1-0.
Well, that's what James Naka can do. He's just one of those players, 37 years of age. It's his 9th goal in the OFC Champions League, and Waitakere United are a goal down. Reniga, blocked by Ufuanoa. Shelley. Waitakere are going to have to dig deep and show some character. It's a Solomon Warriors throw. Moses Tuata is on the edge of his technical area, urging his team on. Waitakere need to score twice to restore some sort of equilibrium to their chase for the semi-finals. Solomon Warriors, 1 goal up. That is half-time. What a thrilling 45 minutes that was, capped off by a brilliant goal, courtesy of James Naka. He just continues to defy the years, James Naka. A brilliant technician, but there's still a long way to go. This Waitakere United side have plenty of experience. They'll have to reveal their character if they're to come back in the second half, but don't rule them out. We can look back at the highlights of a wonderful first half.
Yeah, in the 12th minute, Solomon Warriors with a chance. Naka just across Danny Robinson's goal on the left side. Set up brilliantly for Dennis. And then Naka just missing the target. Hands on the head for the Solomon Warriors. 27th minute. Again, Warriors. Naka involved again into the play. Gets it again. Shot well saved by Danny Robinson. What a brilliant save. That's the first one he did. 1-2, quick 1-2. Releasing Naka. Palmed away by Danny Robinson. Those 1-2s have been causing Waitakere some problems at the back. 28th minute. It was again brilliant play there by Dennis. He comes in with a cross, and then Naka. Not the shot he wanted to get in. Easy for Danny Robinson, but again giving Harshiranaga a clean pair of heels was Dennis on this left-hand side. 34th minute. Was a chance for Waitakere to attack. A good ball released on this far side. It was Joel Stevens coming in, placing it just across the... Not even testing the goalkeeper. Not a good finish by him. Disappointed. 42nd minute. It was Solomon Warriors once more. Long ball played across. Harshiranaga caught off guard. Played through. James Naka falls down in the process. Then sets it up. What a save by Danny Robinson. Brilliant save by Danny Robinson from Mika Lialafa's shot. This was, as you mentioned, one of the best saves of the tournament, or the save of the tournament so far. Look at him. James Naka playing it on the ground. Mika Lialafa. And the 44th minute. It's the goal coming up. There you go. James Naka picks his spot and just puts it over Danny Robinson. Danny will not be happy with that. All the smiles will be James Naka's. As the Solomon Warriors take a 1-0 lead. Look at that. Mika Lialafa plays it for James. James looks up. Just over Danny, right into the net. There you go. Celebration time for Warriors. They need to maintain this for the second half.
So half-time, it's Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 1. Rejoin us for the second half very shortly. So welcome back to Churchill Park in Lautoka. Half-time in the game between Waitakere United and the Solomon Warriors. It's 1-0 to the Solomon Warriors, courtesy of a James Naka goal. It's his second of the tournament in Indra. They deserve it so far.
They deserve it, and as you can see, a lot of media talk here as to how the Warriors have rattled this Waitakere United team. It'll be very interesting the second half. It's much cooler out there now, Gordon. When the teams come out for second half, Waitakere United need to dig in, score twice to get a win now, and that'll be not easy against Angari's defense, because I think Hadesi Angari, the captain for Solomon Warriors, along with Silas Seda, they've been playing a good game. Joel Stevens has had a few runs behind the Solomon Warriors defense that could pose some problems in the second half, but I'm pretty sure Moses Toata will talk to his defenders to tighten up. The formation is another thing that is paying dividends here this afternoon.
That's right. The Solomon Warriors have gone for a 4-2-3-1 formation that is just fully engineered towards attack. They've certainly given Waitakere United plenty to think about. Well, there are, of course, other groups taking place in this competition, and yesterday Nandi took on Amical.
Amical's goal again followed through by Marco. That's the first goal, and I think it brought a lot of relief to the Amical the team members. Then in the 72nd minute, and it's followed through by Nicola, the first of his 3 goals this afternoon. And in the 83rd minute,
You can see Tangus there with a brilliant drive to score the next goal for Amical. What a replacement he was, and we mentioned he'll make a difference.
and certainly was,
Celebration time.
Kemsis Tangisi. And in the 87th minute, into the Danes, there's the quick free kick taken. And again, they quickly knew what they were going to do. Kola, the Dandy defenders. In the 89th minute, they needed the goals to equal. Colin Marshall again to Tangisi. Straight through, broke through, gave Benaminio no chance at all. Then in the 90th minute of play, Matik and Nicola getting his hat trick in this game. And certainly a great goal, great finishing.
So a big win for Amical of Vanuatu yesterday, Indra.
Yeah, they do look impressive with their Serbian imports and the foreign legion that they've got in their team. As we see the Waitakere bench now, some real hard words will be going. I think there's a replacement as well coming in soon. We'll see that at the resumption of the second half. But Nelly, out of this tournament, Amical and Auckland City, a mouth-watering clash coming up on Monday afternoon.
That's right, the semi-final picture is starting to take shape here in Fiji. Remember, the 3 group winners advance to the semi-finals. There is 1 spot left for the best runner-up, and that picture is constantly changing. Now, if the Solomon Warriors were to finish up with 3 points today, AS Pire would be top with 6. Waitakere would have 3 from 2 games. Warriors would have 3 from 2 games, and the Warriors would play Kiwi last. And they got battered today, 8-0 by Pire. Let's take a look at the goal that separates these 2 teams. It all started when Mika Lealafa took on Sam Matthews. Matthews slipped and fell. Lealafa teed it up for Naka, who curled one in with the left foot. And at 37 years of age, he shows that he's lost none of his technique. Even if the legs are a bit slower than they used to be, he was demanding it from Lealafa. And in a tournament where we've seen a lot of shots go flying off target, the granddad of the Warriors team gets mobbed by his younger teammates. Now, co-coach Paul Temple has got some thinking to do. He's got Maxime Manco and Dylan Stansfield, who he can deploy into attacking positions. But the situation is serious for the New Zealanders.
As the Warriors make their way out, halftime team talk was as to what would have told his boys. Keep it going, that's the way we need it to be. As Aaron Jones and his team makes their way onto the pitch and the referee's ready to go. It'll be an interesting 45 minutes coming up, Gotti, and it'll be very interesting to see how Waitakere respond to this 1-0 lead. And we have Tom Biss about to come into the field of play for Waitakere.
Well, this is a poignant substitution. It could be the difference between winning and losing today for Waitakere. That's not over dramatising it either. Biss had a spell with the Wellington Phoenix. He's a pacey player. He's also got an eye for goal. He scored quite a few times as a Hawke's Bay United player prior to going to the Phoenix. And the second half's going to be all about goals for the West Aucklanders. They need something to change.
Sam French about to be replaced.
Well, this could work in Waitakere United's favour. We did see the Solomon Warriors defence playing a very high line. They got caught out once when Adam McGeorge was sent clear. He fired over the top. Tom Biss is capable of a more cultured finish in the top third. And we also discussed, Indra, whether or not the Solomon Warriors could keep up this level of intensity for 45 minutes. For the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, they've kept it up for 45. Can they maintain it for the next 45 is the big question here. Chisel Park in Lautoka. Much cooler ground as we see the Warriors now with the usual routine pre-match. Now they're going in. Some island teams have some good stuff they do before they march back into the field of play. James Naka, the last one to come out of the tunnel into the huddle.
So the Solomon Warriors are ready. They sparkled in the first half, and the question is going to be whether or not that sparkle was of gold or fool's gold. Waitakere are going to press them all the way. They're such experienced competitors. Waitakere United, they sit second to Auckland City in the all-time league table for the Champions League. They average just over 2 goals per game over those 47 matches. Prattley. First touch of the ball for Biss. Matthews. Biss. Rolls the ball back for Butler. Butler, pass 3. Tries to go beyond Manuel Poiler, but can't. Now this is where the Solomons are going to be dangerous. On the counter-attack, well read by Brian Shelley. Good defending from him. Offside. Well, expect to see more of Brian Shelley breaking forward. He is known for this in the ASB Premiership. From the back and rampaging through the lines, trying to break up opponent's structure. Jones. Looking to get forward, Aaron Jones. Stevens. Stevens, can he get to the byline? No, he can't.
So far, that offside line or the high defensive line that Solomon Warriors have employed has worked in their favour. Can they maintain it for the next 45 or 44 minutes or so that's left in the second half?
Dennis Ufunoa against Harshe Reniga. Ufunoa. Switch of play. Gibson Dowdow. Matson Fenny going on a run. Well played, Tristan Prattley. And another offside, Tatori. Well, Moses Toata is probably going to have to think carefully about how he shuffles his deck at some point, because Naka probably can't be expected to last the full 90 minutes. And Waitakere are going to throw the kitchen sink at the Solomons the longer the status quo remains set in place.
think Molia Tingi is another one that he'll be looking at, maybe coming in place of James Naka in the second half. He did come on in the first game against Pire and did make a difference for the Solomon Warriors team.
Butler. Molia did some defending. Finney. Dowd out.
Loose ball there as Aaron Jones sets up play. I think Sam Matthews is another one. He's that steal in the midfield for Waitakere. Once he's bitten in that midfield battle, Waitakere always is under pressure.
Long ball launched forward by Shelley for Reniga. Hooked over the top of Fred Fakari. Fakari gets a leg in. Reniga. Stevens winds in the cross. Miscued by Manuel Poyler. Gibson Dowd out. Pushing forward. Judd Molia. Kagami. Well played by Matthews. Aingari. Cut out by Adam McGeorge. Well, he grabbed his arm. And it's resulted in a free kick for the Solomon Warriors. Fakari with a free kick, launched into the box, straight to Danny Robinson. Hoists it forward. Poyler, miscues. Straight to Aingari though, so no concerns for the Solomon Warriors. Nice ball forward for Mika Lealafa. Matthews tries to shut him down and does so. So Matthews has had a strong game in his defensive role out with the Naka goal. Oh, and that was nearly taken off of Brian Shelley by Naka. This, the substitute. And he's flung it all the way into Silas Sader.
It's going to take all his time in the world.
Fakari. Aingari. Here's Finney. Dowd out. Brantley. Dowd out. He's past McGeorge and Brantley. Shelley's all over Naka and wins the ball back. Still going the Irishman. This loses out to Molia. Well, Shelley's momentarily out of position. Stevens around Fakari. That's wonderful play from him. Butler's bursting forward on his left. Didn't release the ball early enough. The Warriors have repelled the attack. Ufo Noah. Reniga. Shelley. Jones. Tatori lets the ball go through his legs, but Matson Finney was aware of what he was trying to do. Got his body there. Well, it's been 6 long years since Waitakere last won the OFC Champions League. Well, that's poor from Sader. McGeorge. They won't be thinking about getting their hands on the trophy at the moment. They're going to be thinking about getting the next goal in this match.
Not with errors like that, Gotti. Unforced.
Unforced error, you're quite right. Angari, Poiler, bashes it long. Mikalia Lafa mistimes his header. Matthews, straight to Poiler. Gibson Dowdell. McGeorge battling for everything there, winning it back for Waitakere. Tom Biss. McGeorge loses out to Leah Lafa.
And Solomon Warriors will be bringing in Jeffrey Mbule soon.
Well, Jeffrey Mbule is a player who's got loads of experience of this competition. Played 18 times in the OFC Champions League, Jeffrey Mbule. Moses Toata could just be playing his hand correctly. He's going for experience to try and guide this mainly young team through the situation they find themselves in, which is 1-0 up over Waitakere United.
Yeah. Malis Gagame will be the one making way for Jeffrey Mbule.
So he'll go straight into midfield as we have a look at this. Free kick. Given away by Pratley and Matthews. Wallace Kagame can be proud of his contribution to the Solomon Warriors performance. Jeffrey Mbule is on. He gets a pat on the head from Moses Toata. Molea. Wasn't a bad free kick, but nobody attacked it. Harshe Reniga. Oh, he's nearly given it up to Dennis Ufuanot. Chance for Waitakere on the counter-attack. What can they build? Their skipper, Jake Butler, who's been there, done it all. Good ball in. Tatori, straight at the keeper. A let-off for the Solomon Warriors. It was a great pass from Jake Butler. Really good first touch from Benjamin Tatori. Dowdell concedes a free kick.
You see that ball coming in, a great ball from the skipper, coming right through. This time Benjamin Tatori takes it on the back heel, takes it, shot coming in, and a great save by Sela Serra. The goalkeepers have had good, even though that goal went in against Danny Robinson, they have had a good game so far, both the goalkeepers.
Yes, they've been at the top of their game so far. Well played by Emmanuel Poiler. Dowdell. Well, gaps starting to appear all over the pitch. Reniga. Stevens. Biss is pushed forward. Fred Fikari takes no chances. He sends it out of Churchill Park. Waitakere have had defeats away from home in the Champions League against non-New Zealand teams. Cossa is one of them. They had lost a game in Port Moresby to Hikari back in 2010. They lost to Bar in the 2007 Champions League final, first leg.
Yeah, we all remember that game quite well, gotten at Govin Park 2-1. And the unfortunate return leg where Bar gave away an easy goal through a keeper blunder that saw Waitakere win the overall title.
Yes, and only on the away goals rule, Indra. Waitakere have been in this situation before. The question will be, can they get themselves out of it? Naka goes for a long-range shot. Forced Robinson into thinking about a save.
What Naka has been doing, he's done that a lot. We've watched him play. Every time he looks up and he sees Danny Robbo, as we see the great play, Naka pulls it away, looks up, sees Robinson off his line, tries to lob one, and Robinson pedaling back, lucky for him, over the crossbar. But Robbo has always been off his line that Naka has been noticing.
Yes, he's a details man, James Naka. He has to be. He hasn't quite got the legs that he used to. And he's up against a wily old fox and Danny Robinson as well. Headed forward by Jones. Away by Angari. Before Noah's header goes into his own half. Paddy Sangari, Miki Lealafa, Jeffrey Boulay. Well, you can feel the tension here at Churchill Park, building up. Maxim Manco and Dylan Stansfield have been sent to warm up. Away by Seta.
Adam McGeorge with a foul there on Gibson Dowdow. He'll get called up. Yeah, third time the ref tells him, flashes a yellow card to Adam McGeorge. Sheer frustration at that time as we see Gibson Dowdow away. Adam McGeorge more tuck there on Gibson. As they get ready to start play once again. I think the other players, Jerry Donga on the bench and as well, who could make a difference when needed. Molea Tingi, when Moses Tuata does decide to add in a few more fresh legs into the game.
Molea. Away by Reniga. McGeorge. So we're in the 59th minute. Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 1. Now the big question for co-coach Paul Temple is going to be, does he leave Benjamin Tatori on, or does he take him off? Or does he start pulling defenders and throwing in the likes of Stansfield and Manco just to try and put some pressure on this Solomon Warriors back four?
The other thing he might need to, Paul Temple might need to think, I think the Solomon defenders have so much knowledge about Benjamin Tatori. They are reading his play. These are countrymen, so they're reading his play very well.
Yes, he was playing in the S League most recently prior to re-signing for Waitakere United. And I think it is going to be a double switch for Waitakere United, so they're going to go for broke. Yellow card for Tatori. In the meantime, Maxime Manco is stripped and ready for action. And we'll soon see the card of Paul Temple's jib. It's McGeorge who's going to come off. Of course, although Benjamin Tatori hasn't perhaps had his best game in the Champions League today, he, like Naka, just possessed that ability to turn a match. Naka, who's dropped deeper off the centre halves. Solomon's onside, away by Jones. It's a corner for the Solomon Warriors.
Saying up now after this corner.
So Moses Tawata has got some instructions to give from his technical area to Jeffrey Bulley. The corner will be taken by Molea. Naka's in the box. Gibson Dowdow's at the far post. Dennis Ufunoa occupies the near. Punch clear by Robinson.
Good corner.
It was a great corner. It was on target. If Robinson didn't get there, that could have ended up in the back of the net. Mika Lealafa. Gibson Dowdow goes down. No penalty. Well played by Poyler. Wangari. Good clearance from Reniga. Stevens plays Biss. Biss up against Wangari. The first touch was not a good one. Poyler's clearance is schlaffed. So some defending to do for Waitakere. Paul Temple's going to take the opportunity to make his desired substitution.
Most in the region would not be well versed with Maxim Manco, Gordon.
Well, he came to Waitakere United in the January transfer window. He started the season with Waibop United, where he was the top goal scorer. And Waitakere tried to bolster their squad by signing both Manco and bringing Alan Pearce out of retirement. Manco, in fact, scored the winning goal in a derby game against Auckland City. Here is Manco, offside. So while Manco doesn't have the pace of Roy Krishna, he does have the ability to score important goals. That's what co-coach Paul Temple is going to be hoping for anyway. Euler knocks it long. Shelley. Prattley wheels away, looks for an out ball, goes along himself. Well, look at the gap that's opening up in midfield. Molea. Dada coming back from an offside position. Mika Lealafa against Tristan Prattley. Look at the step overs from Mika Lealafa. The cross. Well, it was a poor cross.
Yeah, Moses Tuata about to bring in as we watch the replay. What a step over the ball. But his final ball into the area, not good enough. But about to bring in Jerry Donga, rather. Jerry Donga about to come in for Solomon Warriors, as we had predicted.
Dowd. Naka. Not a good touch by Naka. At what point does Moses Tuata decide he's going to take off this man? Well, perhaps he doesn't need to. Good save by Danny Robinson. How often have we said that today? That could well have put paid to Waitakere United's Champions League hopes. Danny Robinson keeping his club in this game, in this competition. Molea. Matson Fenny. Molea has Dowd out to his right. Here is Dowd out. Lealafa onside against Matthews, evades Matthews. Chance for Jeffrey Bulle, perhaps. Well, the Solomons are in full control at the moment. They've got this ball on a string, and Waitakere just can't get near it. Good touch. Robinson comes out. Naka, it's off the line. Harshay Raniga.
Oh God, Waitakere under pressure. They got to thank Robinson. They got to thank Harshay Raniga. If not, they could have been out of this game already. As we see the Warriors to make a change. To come in will be Jerry Donga.
And it's Dennis Ufuanoa who's replaced. Look at this. The ball came in from Molea. Ufuanoa, wonderful touch to get past Raniga. Robinson came out, and then Naka tried to be cute and clip it into the empty net. And Harshay Raniga, with that pace of his, got to the line and saved the day for Waitakere United.
We're going to say they should give a medal to Danny Robinson if this game, they get something out of this game, Waitakere, because what a save he did there just moments before that clearance by Harshay Raniga.
So Jerry Donga thrown into the action. Warriors have taken it short. It goes in. Oh, and the jump by the substitute Donga was just out of reach. But he's worked hard to try and shut down the ball. Poila. Aingari. Seda playing it safe. There is a vulnerability to the Solomon Warriors, and it just rests in the gap between the defence and the goalkeeper. They can ill afford to lose concentration in that area of the park.
The number of players pushing up for Solomon Warriors in attack does leave them vulnerable at the back with the pace that we have got and we've seen of Waitakere United.
Well, Waitakere are going to start throwing players forward soon. We're in the 67th minute. They were nearly 2-0 down and out.
You asked about Naka. I think most probably Moses Tuata might just leave Naka on for the 90 with his experience.
Well, Naka, as we saw in the first game, disappeared for 10 or 15 minutes in the second half against AS Pire. He actually got the goal that brought Solomon Warriors back into the game. And he's not going to be doing a heck of a lot of running.
Well, that's what he'll be doing if he's kept on.
Well, that's what he's capable of. Jerry Donga. Oh, the ball stayed in. Donga still going. He's got Naka to his left. Naka's picked it up anyway. Look at that. He's round one. Opportunity over the bar by Jeffrey Boulay. Well, some of the tackling leaves a lot to be desired. Look at that lunge. Completely mistimed, perhaps fortunately for Waitakere, and then Boulay's effort on goal was a little too precious. He went for delicate and powered his foot through the ball, high over the bar.
Will those misses come to cost and come to harm the Solomon Warriors? Will it be a nightmare for them? Because those misses and Waitakere get a chance, they could be back level in this game.
Mika Lealafa playing in between the Waitakere United defence and midfield. Just picking the ball up and running with it. Naka's given it away. Aaron Jones on a run. Waitakere, well, there were 4 of them offside there. Well, 3 offside, 1 on the far side not interfering with play. Now, play swings back to Gibson Dowdow. Naka, he's got Donga free on his left. A chance now. Naka, oh, and he's missed it.
Oh.
Well, they just don't have the ruthlessness to put this game to bed. Solomon Warriors.
And it is not Waitakere keeping themselves in the game as we see Naka. What a control there. He takes it, turns it, and could have finished it off.
And of all the players who you would have thought would have the composure to put it in the back of the net, you'd think James Naka. Manko plays into Tori. Good run by Biss. If he can square it. Joel Stevens was completely unmarked at the far post. Well, the Solomon Warriors have missed 4 decent chances to go 2-0 up. Now, Waitakere United are going to throw players forward. They've got a big height advantage here. It's whipped in. Manko misses it. Tatori with a shot. It's a poor one.
I think we both will agree it's not Waitakere keeping themselves in the game. It's Warriors who are giving them a chance as we see the ball coming in. And then Totori's shot nowhere near the goal mark. But it's Warriors who are keeping Waitakere in this game.
Yeah, they could have had perhaps 3 goals in this half, 2 at the end of the first half. They haven't taken it. And defending for the full 90 minutes was a question mark for the Warriors. But putting the ball in the back of the net more than once is proving to be a big problem for them. Dowdow with a cross. Mika Lealafa. Brian Shelley just getting in the way in the nick of time. Robinson with the long ball. Igari had his hands wrapped all over Maxime Manko, and the referee spotted it. Stevens against Fakari. Good ball in, chance for Manko. Seta did enough, slapping at the ball. Frustration for Jake Butler.
Yes, we see that ball coming in. Good ball, but the goalkeeper comes Asila set up, taps it away. He's not very keen on handling those crosses coming in, but he's done a good job keeping his goal mouth safe.
Well, perhaps it's a realistic self-assessment of his ability to catch the ball. He's not the tallest of goalkeepers. It's far better that he gets a 100% purchase on it with an open hand slap than he does trying to bungle a catch. Toata issuing instructions from the Solomon Warriors bench. We're in the 71st minute. Waitakere United 0, Solomon Warriors 1. Shelley. It's his 2nd season in the OFC Champions League, Brian Shelley. He's just been made coaching director for the club. Long ball from Robinson. Good header from Pratley. Manko was lurking. We could start to see more of that from Waitakere. Long ball from Seta. Back into the mix from Shelley. Molia wins it. Now Matthews. Tatori. Biss. Pratley. Well, he caught his foot in the turf, Tristan Pratley, and the ball veered off course.
We've had some exciting games in this year's Champions League so far, and none better than, I think, Hekari United and East Magenta, but this is proving to be a spectacular one.
This is a fantastic game. It's certainly a pleasure to call it. Two teams, one with a storied history in the Champions League, 2 titles in 2007 and 8, battling away for their Champions League survival, and the Solomon Warriors, who last season finished bottom of their group, they've only ever won 1 game at this level. Shelley back to Robinson. Oh, it's a tight one. Well, no hard feelings between Robinson and Mika Lealafa. I think Lealafa was entitled to go for that. The goal loomed large. Matthews has put an arm around Jerry Donga. And he's paid for it. Waitakere United co-coach Paul Temple looking pensive on the sideline. Dadau sends the free kick into the corner. Restart with a throw-in.
Yeah, the Warriors about to, as we mentioned, Waitakere been told to warm up by coach Moses Tuata. So this might be the time we see Naka off, Waitakere most probably coming on. And believe me, that other day he had some chances he could have put away for Solomon Warriors. Danny Robinson quickly to take that free kick.
Launched high. Manuel Poyler doesn't take any chances. He's whacked that high into the air. Seda. Well, the Solomon Warriors going to join Kossa in the history books as only the 2nd team from the Solomon Islands to beat a Kiwi club. It's been 6 long years since that happened. And the Kossa team that achieved that had such greats in it as Gideon Omakirio, Samson Takayama, players with true experience. This Solomon Warriors side is young. If you take Naka out of it, the average age drops considerably. That's a corner. Well, if Waitakere United got a lucky break, because that certainly looked as though it came off Benjamin Tatori, they're not going to complain about that. Tatori stays short. Tombis ready to take this corner. Is there a hero in a white shirt? Punched away by Seda. Jake Butler, nice ball. Prattley on his preferred left foot, opens up. Clipped in. Seda's out for it. He slaps it away. Jones is looking for a penalty. Reniga taken out by Naka. Paul Temple's unhappy. Reniga's going to stay down and it's going to be a card. The goal scorer gets booked. Well, the drama is unrelenting. And that was a nasty one from James Naka.
Yeah, Naka not usually known for dirty tactics, but he did come in very late and taken on Harshri Reniga.
That's a clever ball by Tristan Prattley.
Claims for a penalty here.
Well, he got the ball. Seda.
Waitakere ready to come on for Solomon Warriors. It will be James Naka coming off Godin.
Well, what an afternoon he's had. Tom Biss winds it in. It's a good one. Punched again. Taken off the foot of Joel Stevens by Judd Mollier.
As you mentioned, as you correctly said, last 15 minutes, this Waitakere team will be throwing the kitchen sink at the Solomon Warriors defense.
Look, there is absolutely nothing preventing this Waitakere side from grabbing one, possibly two goals. Oh, and it's over the top. Solomon Warriors can't take anything for granted.
That's Aaron Jones.
Naka is off.
The corner comes in. Aaron Jones comes in with the keeper. Oh, just over the crossbar.
Oh, he can't believe it. Aaron Jones.
Keeper calling for a foul, goes down. The hero for Solomon Warriors coming off.
Naka's played well. Waitakere thrown in by Moses Toata, so all of the Warriors cards have been handed over. Silas Seta is down. It's just his third appearance in the OFC Champions League, Silas Seta. And whatever you make of his technique, you can't doubt his pragmatism.
And as you mentioned, he's not one of those tall, lanky goalkeepers we've seen in this tournament. He's a short guy, but he's got all these different techniques going, where he knows when to tap it out, when to hold it, when to punch the ball away. It's a good goalkeeping techniques by Silas Seta. Yep. Paul Temple having a word with the fourth official. Silas Seta looks all right to continue. 13 minutes to go.
Big question marks over whether or not the Warriors can hold on to this lead. They haven't really been troubled. It's just a moment of madness at the back that could cost them. Jerry Donga. First touch of the ball for Tiggy. Donga has a shot. Well, that's a comfortable one for Robinson. Gets things moving quickly. Tatori. He's been off his game today, Benjamin Tatori.
Yeah, that's the difference I've seen between maybe this season itself, if we talk about it, Waitakere and Auckland City. Auckland City is so organized in these pressure situations. They haven't been put under pressure in this tournament yet, but domestic-wise, when we've watched it on TV, etc., they've been a good side. Very calm, collective, even when they are down. Waitakere seem to be rushing things already and at times getting frustrated when things don't go their way.
Yeah, they made life hard for themselves in the first half. There was a lot of misdirected long balls and the quality of delivery wasn't its usual high standard from wide areas. And they're in this situation now. Oh, and the first touch from Molia was not a good one. Matthews. Tatori. He's off.
Lost count how many times he's been caught offside this afternoon.
Now the situation in this group is that Waitakere will face AS Pire in their final game. Now if they lose here, they'll only be on 3 points. They'll have 2 for and 1 against, and they'll have to win that game. The Warriors are playing Kiwi, who lost 8-0 today, and if they put a hat load of goals past the Samoan champions, then we'll have a 3-way tie in terms of points, but Pire have a +9 goal difference, and the Solomon Warriors will have an opportunity to pump their goal difference up. That could leave Waitakere in 3rd place and leave the Solomon Warriors in the best runner-up spot with a healthy goal difference. But of course there's more action to come in Group B.
I think a lot of things will be decided after that Auckland City Amical game on Monday afternoon.
That's right.
And that will be a mouth-watering clash. I think even the local fans, who usually are favourite to follow the local teams, are looking forward to that one.
Let's hope so. Tomorrow, of course, Bar back in action. They can confirm their semi-final spot if they win at Govan Park. 75th anniversary of Bar Town. Now, Stevens has broken clear. Manco's unmarked. Cross deflected, it's a corner. We're in the 81st minute.
Yeah, Danny Robinson telling all his players to move up as the cross comes in. Manco was a free guy in that box there.
Robinson is up on halfway. Harshay Reniga is the only one marking Mikalia Lafa. Corner wound in, headed clear by Angari. What a game he's had. Matthews, Biss is unmarked at the far post. It's not clear. Danny Robinson playing as a sweeper now for Waitakere. for 6 or 7 in that high line now, and Robinson's put it all the way through to setter. Clutches that ball tightly to his chest. Now he's launched it forward, straight back to Waitakere. Header from Jones. Molia misses it. Manko. Molia. Mika Lealafa. Lealafa's free. Jeffrey Boulay. Well played, Harshe Reniga. Brian Shelley doing all he can to get his team back in this game. Madsen Fenny against Tatori. Now he's going to try and cut in on his right. There's a cross, chance. Headed away. Emmanuel Poiler. Play switches to Molia. Well, you're going to have to do a lot better than that to beat Harshe Reniga. He's got this turn of pace. He's a very sharp defender, the youngster.
Interesting part about this match so far as well is with that lead Solomon Warriors have had, they haven't sat back and defended that lead. They've gone out in attack trying to get the second to kill this game off.
Ingari against Stevens. Oh, that clearance hasn't found a red shirt. Moliategi. Long ball forward. So we're in the 84th minute. The next question will be how much time added on. Matthews. This. Tatori. Is this a moment for Waitakere? It's not. Tatori has been a shadow of his former self this afternoon. He tried to set himself up for a shot and he's blazed it wide. Setter. Mika Lealafa switches to the left. Moliategi. Well, that's a wild effort by Lealafa. It hasn't helped his skipper out. Time the enemy for Waitakere. They've got 5 minutes plus stoppages to sort this situation out. They've got a corner. Poiler conceded it under pressure from Manko. It's taken quickly. Stevens. It's a good ball. Oh, it's in the back of the net. Waitakere are level.
Blunder.
Just in the nick of time.
A blunder by Silas Seda. I think he was trying to punch it over the crossbar as we see the corner coming in. Quickly played, cross coming in. This comes in, there you go. He's trying to tap it. No, he taps it on to his old goal. What a blunder, what a time to make the blunder. 85th minute, Waitakere back on level terms.
Well, how Waitakere have laboured for that equaliser. And they could still yet go on and win this game. Remember, there's still just less than 5 minutes of normal time to go, plus stoppages.
Hadisi Ngari having a word with his goalkeeper, telling him to put the ball forward. Warriors, what a disappointment for Warriors if Waitakere manages to get that second goal. They've missed their chances. As we said, they kept Waitakere into the game by themselves. Waitakere didn't play well up until the last 10 minutes or so when they started to really apply pressure.
Well, does does Paul Temple keep thrusting away here with his team trying to chase 3 points? 1 point is not the worst thing in the world. It would leave them having to beat AS Pere to get top spot in the group. All that matters is you win 3 games to get top spot. But Waitakere may not be finished yet. Manko. Butler. Waitakere clears it. Headed on by Tiggy. Lealafa bundles into the back of Aaron Jones. No free kick. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Poiler lets it go. Well, Pratley had his hands on the back of Gibson Dowdow. That's why that free kick was given. Hoisted into the far post. Poiler. Molia. Gibson Dowdow. There's a cross. Shelley reads it, clears it. Biss. Straight to Matson Fenny. Oh, what was Molia doing? Lost his concentration. Tatori's made a run on the left. Biss has released him. Manco heading forward. Stevens heading forward. Biss joins in. Nice turn from Tatori. Well, Butler was heading into that, and Stevens took it on himself. Matthews clipped into the far post. He's on. No, he's off.
Tight call. I thought he was just onside, but maybe just played offside there by the Warriors defenders. But they give the ball away so cheaply, yet they get a free kick. 2 minutes plus added time to go in this one.
Judd Molia. Well, the calibration of Judd Molia's passing's gone to pot in the last 2 minutes. Matson Fenny. Here's Molia again, a chance to recalibrate. That's a good ball. Robinson to the edge of his box.
A draw will send Warriors out of the tournament this evening. They'll be left with only a point.
Oh, good run this from Shelley. Manco is there. Shelley might finish himself. Good save by Setter. So close for Waitakere. Robinson's forced off his line. Doesn't get the clearance quite right. Danny Robinson. Dowdow with a throw. Solomon Warriors, who looked as though they were going to take their semi-final hopes at least one more match forward, are on the verge of slipping out of the competition. They've got a free kick. And there's 3 minutes of additional time to play. Aaron Jones catching Jeffrey Boulay. So Mika Lealafa will take it. Solomon Warriors need something big. Molia is a dead ball specialist. But his last couple of passes weren't so encouraging. Can they produce a miracle goal to keep their semi-finals hopes alive? Judd Molia, the man of the moment. Oh dear, he was offside in any case. Robinson's ball forward. Way by Waitakere. Rinter time added on. Solomon Warriors slipping out of the competition. They've given us a thrilling performance. But the dogged character and strength of Waitakere. Oh, and a chance for Biss. Reniga. Waitakere are just going to keep going until they drop. They may have to beat AS Pire to get to the last four. Toata throws his head back in despair at that pass. Butler lobs it in for Stevens. Tatori free at the far post. No quality on the cross.
AS Pire will be enjoying this. They know a draw could even get them through into the semi-finals, and Waitakere will need a win. They need to beat AS Pire on Tuesday.
Well, Pire have beaten a New Zealand club before. They beat Auckland City. Here's Manco. Oh, and is that a penalty? They've asked a question. It was half-hearted. Now, free kick given Solomon Warriors' way. Here's the ball into the box, taken on the chest by Manco. Well, he got the ball. Well, the Warriors need to get players forward. They're not really committing here, and preserving a draw's no good to them. Manco this time. Bisson Tatori steaming up on the left. Manco still going. Pratley with the right foot. Headed on, Stevens into the penalty area. He's got a corner. Well, if you cut it back, Tom Biss was free on his left. He was unmarked.
Jenny Robinson making a run up. He had so much space there.
Look, and number 8, free.
Yeah, could have just cut it back in.
Might not matter. They've wound it in. Seda, it's in. No!
Oh.
Well, is he given a penalty? What's going on?
I think he's given a foul as we see the corner come in, Gotti. Deep one again. Seda there.
Did enough to put Jones off. Oh, and he's kicked out.
He's kicked out.
Now, that was stupid from Silas Seda. You can't do that. And he's blown up for full time.
Yeah, that was a kick out by Silas Seda on Aaron Jones.
Well, an anticlimax to what was otherwise a thrilling classic of a match. But Silas Seda might just have got out of jail here. Now, there's plenty of afters going on.
Yeah, this is not on in football, guys. We don't do this in football. Yeah, a lot of Solomon supporters in the grandstands. We do not want to see this here. It's been played in great spirit so far, Gotti. We don't want to see this. Yeah, I think he is going to call Silas Seda and Aaron Jones because they had some afters.
Well, here are the highlights of a thrilling second half. This chance for Benjamin Tatori. Shot straight at Seda. "63 minutes. And a chance for the Warriors to wrap the game up. But Danny Robinson, who had an enormous performance for Waitakere, saves his team with that save. Keeps them in this competition, but only just. Dennis Ufuanawa set up James Naka. Harshe Reniga cleared it off the line. Just got the wrong side of Ufuanawa, Harshe Reniga. But look at that. Wonderful defending by Harshe Reniga. He really has distinguished himself this season. 7 minutes later, Waitakere on the attack again. There was a player free on the left. Tom Biss could have squared it. He went for goal instead. Seda pulled off the save. And then with 5 minutes to go, Waitakere levelled it through an own goal by the goalkeeper, Silas Seda. He tried to catch it, in fact, and all he's managed to do was bundle it into his own net.
Yeah, he just showed a yellow card to Silas Seda and Aaron Jones after all that, Millie. Good, the players all shake hands, take off. Waitakere, we'll have to wait for the last one, and then we wait for Jackie down at the baseline with Moses Tuata.
Moses, 1-0, you were up, sorry, 1-1. You were up 1-0 for the majority of that match. What happened towards the end there?
Oh, I think we just lack the experience and the ability to keep holding on until the end. But I think the boys did well today. They played according to what we have planned and walked on after the first game. and there's a lot of improvement. But the only thing is if we can hold it until the end.
Yeah.
And we just ran out of gas, I guess.
Can you tell us your thoughts on that goal? It was a pretty impressive build-up between Lealafa and Naka.
Yeah, well, we tried as much as possible to break through the center of the park, which is which what we have planned before the game, and they did that. And if they can play quicker, that means we will put a lot of the opposition offside, and then came that goal. It was a very, very good goal, actually.
And one last match for you against Kiwi FC. Are you hoping for a win from that one?
Definitely, yes. We are looking forward for a win. I'm very impressed by the way the boys played today, and I'm looking forward for the game against Kiwi.
Thank you, Moses.
You can sense that he's disappointed, but he can be proud of his team. They've delivered a very credible, exciting performance at this tournament in this particular match, but they've just come up short due to the battling qualities and character of Waitakere United. Jackie Tranvan is with co-coach of Waitakere United, Paul Temple.
Paul, a difficult match by the looks of it out there today. Can you tell us what happened on the field?
Oh yeah, look, it was a tough battle. We knew that they were going to be a tough team to play against. You know, they got good players, and it was exactly how we expected it to be. But I'm pleased that we showed the character to get the goal that I thought we deserved, and got at least something from the game, you know, to keep us fighting in the competition.
One last game against Pire, who won their game quite well today. How are you going to approach that one?
Oh, look, we'll just approach it the same as we were going to approach it. I don't think you can read into that scoreline. Kiwi obviously didn't give the effort that they put in the first game, and Pire got some good players. But look, we'll probably be better off having a game as tough as we did, whereas they've had a pretty easy afternoon. So, yeah, hopefully we can come out fighting and get the result we want.
Thank you, Paul.
So Waitakere United still alive in this competition after a 1-1 draw with the Solomon Warriors. It's been an absolutely exciting and compelling match to describe for you. And all that is left for us to do now is to wish you farewell. And on behalf of myself, Gordon Watson, and my co-commentator, Indra Singh, and OFC TV, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow.